Plato's Allegory of the Cave is a philosophical allegory found in his work The Republic. In the allegory, people are depicted as being imprisoned in a cave and only able to see shadows of the outside world projected onto the cave's walls. The story is meant to illustrate the difference between the limited perception of reality that most people have, and the greater understanding of the world that philosophy and education can provide. The Allegory of the Cave is considered a classic work of philosophy and continues to be widely discussed and studied today, particularly in the fields of epistemology, metaphysics, and ethics. It has been interpreted in various ways over the centuries, with some taking it to be a commentary on the nature of knowledge, others as an allegory of the human condition, and still others as an allegory of the journey from ignorance to enlightenment. In terms of its impact, the Allegory of the Cave is often cited as a key example of how philosophy can provide a deeper and more accurate understanding of the world than what can be perceived through our senses. It has also been used to explore the relationship between truth, reality, and the limitations of human perception. For example, the allegory can be seen as a commentary on the limitations of scientific knowledge, and the idea that what we know to be true may only be a limited perspective on the world. In contemporary society, the Allegory of the Cave remains relevant, as it continues to influence the way we think about the nature of reality and our ability to understand the world. Its themes of ignorance, enlightenment, and the journey from one to the other continue to be explored in various fields, from philosophy and psychology to art and popular culture. Chapter 1: The Cave Prison. In order to set the stage for the dialogue, Plato had Socrates ask Glaucon to picture a cave where individuals have been imprisoned since childhood but not from birth. These captives are tied so that their legs and necks are locked, preventing them from looking around at the cave, each other, or themselves. Instead, they must look at the wall in front of them. A fire can be seen burning behind the inmates, and between the fire and the prisoners is a high walkway with a low wall, behind which people can be seen walking while carrying puppets or objects of men and other living things. The prisoners cannot see the shadows cast by the people since they are moving behind the wall, but they can see the shadows of the objects they are carrying, much like puppet show performers who operate their puppets on screens in front of them. The only thing the inmates can see are the shadows thrown on the cave wall in front of them. They are unable to see anything going on behind them. The prisoners believe the sounds coming from the darkness are people talking as they reverberate off the walls. The prisoners, according to Socrates, see the shadows as reality because they have never seen anything else. They are unaware that what they are seeing are just shadows of actual objects before a fire, much less even that these objects are inspired by actual things outside the cave that they are unable to see. Chapter 2: The Exit from the Cave. Then, according to Socrates, the prisoners are let go. A prisoner who had just been set free would have noticed the flames. His eyes would suffer from the light, and he would struggle to discern the things that were casting the shadows. He would not believe it if someone informed him that what he is seeing is the reality, not the alternate universe he sees on the wall. Socrates says that the liberated prisoner would turn away in agony and return to his familiar surroundings, that is, the shadows of the carried objects. As a result of the light hurting his eyes, he would flee by turning to the things he could see, which he would perceive to be clearer than what was being presented to him. Chapter 3: Back to the Cave. Socrates continues, he would bless himself for the change and pity the other prisoners, and would want to bring his fellow cave dwellers out of the cave and into the sunlight. The freed prisoner would think that the world outside the cave was superior to the world he experienced in the cave and would try to share this with the prisoners remaining in the cave in order to bring them onto the journey he had just experienced. The returning inmate would be blind upon entering the cave again, exactly as he had been when initially exposed to the sun, as his eyes had become used to the sunlight. According to the dialogue, the blindness of the returning man would lead the remaining prisoners to believe that the journey out of the cave had hurt him and that they should avoid making a similar adventure. Socrates comes to the conclusion that the captives would kill anyone attempting to drag them out of the cave if they had the ability to do so. In conclusion, Plato's Allegory of the Cave is a timeless masterpiece that continues to captivate and inspire people to this day. Its themes of the limitations of human perception, the pursuit of knowledge, and the journey from ignorance to enlightenment remain as relevant today as they were when it was written over 2,000 years ago. If you enjoyed learning about this allegory, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content on philosophy and other fascinating topics. Thanks for watching.